So joining me now to discuss all of this and what to make of what feels like rising tensions between Russia and perhaps the United States is Medal of Honor recipient Staff Sergeant David Bellavia. David, it's always great to see you. Thanks for being here with us today. I keep thumbing through the newspaper on a daily basis, David, and it seems like I'm getting more news about new lines of potential tension, and I hear it from President Trump when it comes to our relationship with Russia. Where do you think this is headed?
This is bad. You know, the ISIS challenge that President Trump dominated and showed what American force could do, that really kind of opened up the world. Look, President Trump clearly wants peace in the world, but if you push President Trump, he's gonna punch back. This is a much greater challenge. Look, we could all point to the reasons why we got here. It's clear that Putin had no respect for Jake Sullivan, Susan Rice, and the beta males of the State Department. But we're here now. And so this is Secretary Hegseth has now chosen to put 20,000 troops. We're looking at Romania. We're looking at Poland. The eastern flank of NATO was exposed. Germany, in 80 years, they haven't done a permanent deployment. Now those Germans in a brand new armored brigade are staring right at Belarus. Remember, when Ukraine got hit, they got hit from the east, but they also got hit from the north in Belarus. This puts a lot of pressure now on that eastern flank of NATO. Now, you talk about the Baltic Sea. The Russians have also been doing some pretty dangerous naval missions in the Russian Sea. They're doing some exercises out there. Finland and Sweden are the two newest members of NATO. Finland has already reported that Russia has invaded their airspace. Finland and Sweden are not in NATO for the T-shirt. They're in this because they understand the real threat that they have from Russia. This is a really dangerous spot. So we've got about 90,000 to 100,000 between that area that are there. That is going to send a message that, you know, you don't want to negotiate with the Pope. You don't want to negotiate for peace. Time's running out, and Putin's got to make a choice here.
David, nobody wants World War III. President Trump ran on the ability to basically avoid the expansion of wars for the United States across the world. But it seems like that olive branch has been offered. It seems like Vladimir Putin has been welcomed to the negotiating table, and it seems like he is the one who is unwilling to engage with President Trump in finding some solution. In fact, it looks in many of these instances like he's getting more aggressive. And now you're seeing President Trump respond in kind. So it feels like we're getting to a point where Putin has to decide which way this is going to go.
He does, but I think the partner that he has now with the United States is a little bit. Think about this. In the last week, Russia has taken 55 square miles from Ukraine. That's 2 New York cities. So Putin is living in the world. Remember that old game in the 90s, supermarket sweep? He rolled into Ukraine. He went for all the expensive stuff. He went for what he wanted because he had the time. The election of Donald Trump signals the end of that shopping spree. So now Putin believes that if he can just be touching home base when this thing ends, whatever buffer zone will be negotiated, whatever demilitarized zone that'll be negotiated, if he's touching home, he's going to get that and get to keep it. He's at the end of his spree, and he believes that he can hold on to whatever he can get. It's not well thought out. It's desperate. But let's be honest, Russia showed us all they can do. They lost almost 800,000 troops in that fight. You know, right. We could say Putin's wild, Putin's aggressive, but Putin can't fight. And he's got to realize that he's up against a president right now that doesn't want war, that will do whatever he can for peace. But if you push Donald Trump and this DOD, we're going to hurt you, and we're going to hurt you for generations to come.
I don't know if your ears were ringing last week, David, but I was at the Medal of Honor Museum here in Arlington, Texas, talking with Flo Groberg, and, of course, your name comes up as well. It's always an honor to get to talk to you as well, even through the virtual reality of television. Thanks, David.
Appreciate you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.